This video discusses eating disorders. If you or someone you know show signs of disordered eating, please seek professional medical treatment. Viewer discretion is advised. Hi, I'm Amaya and welcome back to my channel. Visuals are one of the main aspects of K-pop. The visual position holds the same weight as a leader, dancer, or vocalist. Karina, Wonyoung. Visuals can gain big audiences for their groups, and this is why K-pop companies push idols so hard to conform to their beauty standards. But far too often, they push unhealthy standards onto idols. Today, we will discuss the K-pop industry's obsession with skinniness, how K-pop companies are at fault, and the outcomes these have on both the K-pop fandom and on the idols themselves. It's best to start this video by explaining what eating disorders are. According to the American Psychiatric Association, eating disorders are serious medical conditions involving severe and often persistent disturbances in eating behaviors and associated distressing thoughts and emotions that impair psychosocial functioning. As eating disorders can be very dangerous, it's important to seek treatment as early as possible and to be aware of the warning signs. This video was inspired by an interview from K-pop girl group Reine. I actually heard about this interview through a TikTok, which I will link in the description box. In this interview, they talk about their eating habits. Reine is composed of 5 members: Wani, born in 2004, Liv and Minami, born in 2006, and Mei and Zena, born in 2008. The group debuted on March 26, 2024, so this interview was around their 2nd anniversary. As we go through this interview, I will display eating disorder warning signs as they appear. The original interview is from 제일 건강합니다 with fan-made captions because the original video was only in Korean. To start off the video, the girls say that they wake up at 3 a.m. when they have to do music shows. The host asks if they eat anything, to which the girls reply that they would prefer to sleep.
맞아요.
They do pre-shoots, film challenges, and do rehearsals, all without eating. By 9 to 10 a.m., they have had several energy drinks, all on an empty stomach.
아직 6시간 반 됐으니까 밥을 먹어야 되니까 배 안 고파요?
에너지 드링크 제가 진짜 많이 마셔요.
They finish by 12 p.m. and then they eat.
떡볶이에다가 피자.
Here, I think it's really important that one member mentions how even her food is burning calories. The guest here is a pharmacist, and she explains that they need to eat meat and vegetables, to which a member replies that they have those as toppings on their pizza.
피자 위에 고기 올라가 있어.
Specifically, she makes note of every ingredient, including cheese, meat, vegetables, tomato sauce, and bread. Minami goes through her medicine pouch, and this is a very important aspect of the video. This medicine pouch contains a carb cut called Garcinia. This is supposed to stop carbs from turning into fat, and the pharmacist in the video agrees with this. However, after doing a little bit of research, it is not verified here that Garcinia does do anything. Minami also uses year-old probiotics, and the other members add in that they will purposely drink expired milk and eat expired yogurt. When the pharmacist chimes in and says that that would make her stomach hurt, the members say that that's good because it gently snatches it away. The pharmacist mentions how people go on laxative diets to help them lose weight. And she also mentions that dieting in the way that some of these people do, where they avoid eating or only eat very little bits of food, can lead to constipation. They talk about how Mei can spend up to 3 hours in the bathroom. And other members talk about how they have to work off what they eat or, quote, bring it out. They also talked about the ideal weight formula, where you subtract 120 from your height in centimeters. The host mentions that he would have to lose 42 kilograms to reach his ideal weight, and this is actually the exact weight of one of the members. At the end of the video, they're all seen splitting one bowl of fruit, which looks like it would normally be shared by 2 or so people.
확실히 공격적으로 먹는다. 난 아이돌 이렇게 잘 먹는 건 처음 봤어요.
진짜 잘 먹는다.
For other groups, Giselle from aespa also recently went live, and when she was asked about her weight, she said that fans bring up her looks a lot. It's basically all they talk about, and that she is trying to become healthy, but it's really hard to do that as a K-pop star.
How did you lose so much weight? You know, you guys talk about my looks a lot. Honestly, that's really all you talk about when it comes to me. It's a natural thing. People lose weight. People gain weight. I've lost around 10 kilograms in the past 7 years. I have ADHD, so sometimes I'm just not hungry. But I'm trying to gain weight because it's true, I don't have a lot of energy. I try really hard to be healthy. It's hard for a K-pop star to be healthy. I mean, I do recommend always trying your best to be healthy because health really is wealth.
In an example of a male idol displaying this type of behavior, Juwong from Kickflip explained about a year ago how he would only eat one meal per day and he would break his fast with fried chicken. In a more recent video, the members talked about how he always takes pictures of his food and how he avoids eating in front of other people, including their own staff members.
근데 주황이가 먹는 건 다 찍어요. 찍긴 해요. 맞아요. 그 영상 어디에 가요? 너무 귀여워. 몰라 그냥 저장돼 있어. 너무 귀엽지 않아요?
Here's an extended list of these signs of eating disorders that I didn't include earlier in the video. And I also want to make it very clear that you can't diagnose someone with an eating disorder just from looking at them, and that it should be done by a medical professional. All we can do is notice when someone is showing these signs. K-pop idols are especially high risk for developing eating disorders compared to some other groups of people. 50% of all eating disorder patients in South Korea in 2024 were teenagers, with 82.5% of that group being girls. Idols are scouted at a very young age, and the majority of them debut by 18. During the training process, idols' bodies are constantly judged by people they look up to, including trainers, managers, and even the company's CEO. Ashley Choi from Ladies Code talked about how her company scrutinized her appearance, including how much her gums show when she talks and having unattractive knees.
And I didn't know there were so many like flaws about myself or things that people thought weren't pretty or like attractive until I came to Korea, because that's when people started pointing it out. When you're a trainee, they tell you like, oh, you need to get this done, you need to get this done, like you need to fix this. And they would like tell me like they want me to shave my jaws, like shave my face.
Oh, I got that.
They would say like, oh, your knees aren't that pretty, like how, you know, narrow your shoulders or whatever, and you smile and your gums show, that's unattractive. And I've never even noticed that about myself until, you know, they pointed it out. And after then I was like, oh my gosh, like there's so many things that you have to take into consideration. You know, you would fix one thing and they'd be like, oh, like your face looks a little disproportionate, you gotta fix the other side. And it's just like never ending.
Ashley debuted at 21 years old, and she explained that these comments made her more critical of her own body, including aspects that she had never thought about before. Imagine how this would impact someone even younger who grew up in the K-pop training system. Teenagers are already going through a lot of changes, and hearing negative comments about their bodies can push them towards forming dangerous habits. Foreign trainees like Ashley and Minami are under even more pressure than Korean trainees because they're in a new environment, away from their family and friends, and more reliant on their companies. Idols also experience public scrutiny all the time. They are constantly compared to not only other groups, but also to their own group mates. As we mentioned earlier, visuals are a big part of the appeal to K-pop, and if a member is deemed unattractive, there is a lot of pressure on them to conform to their beauty standard. I've spoken before about the documentary Bodymentary, where female K-pop idols were interviewed about their relationships with body image in the K-pop industry. Recently, a clip went viral of Somi, where she said that she writes fat on sticky notes and puts them on her fridge, on her door, next to her bed, so that she'll stay true to her diet and exercise more.
다이어트 하는데 군것질이 자꾸 땡겨요. 언니의 추천템이 알고 싶습니다. 지금 다이어트를 아무래도 컴백 때마다 하게 되니까 엘라 원래 군것질 좋아하잖아. 일단 먹고 그냥 운동해. 엄청 빡세게 해. 온 집안에 살이라고 포스트잇에 써놓고 다 붙여놔. Wow. So when I wake up in the morning, I see 살. And then I go out, open the fridge, I see 살. 그래서 계속 나 스스로 계속 생각 마인드 컨트롤. 나가면 나도 단 걸 먹게 돼. 근데 다이어트 하면 밖에 나가면 안 돼.
Unfortunately, this clip is low quality because they edited out this segment from the original video in YouTube Studio, so they didn't have to delete it and re-upload it. She has also been in the K-pop industry for a very long time, and she grew up in it. She probably thinks that these things are normal and everyone does them, and wouldn't even think to second-guess herself before saying that. Eating disorders are very dangerous conditions. Some of these symptoms alone are dangerous, including dizziness, fatigue, fainting, sleep problems, dental problems, muscle weakness, poor wound healing, and impaired immune function. Eating disorders are fatal and can cause heart problems as well as other mental health conditions, including suicidal ideation and depression. K-pop companies have a responsibility to protect their employees. They know that K-pop idols and trainees are under immense pressure to perform. They're constantly being compared to their peers, and they know exactly what they're eating. They are constantly surrounded by staff members. They live in company dorms, and a lot of the time their food is provided by the company. I mentioned earlier how telling someone negative things about their body can lead to them developing an eating disorder. The K-pop industry is incredibly perfectionistic, and idols are constantly reminded of what aspects of themselves that they need to change. Companies can also determine what type of body they want their idols to have. Yosong from ATEEZ talked about how he wanted to become more muscular, but KQ Entertainment thought that it didn't fit his image, and so they banned him from going to the gym and building more muscle. K-pop entertainment companies also profit directly off of idols' bodies. Their public appearances, performances, photo shoots, the list goes on. It's wrong to watch someone risk their health every day and not do anything about it, especially when you're making money off of them. Furthermore, K-pop companies work extremely hard to portray idols in an idealistic way. They're beautiful, talented, successful. They're making music with their best friends. Young, impressionable, and vulnerable fans watch their videos and want to be just like them. According to Psychiatric Times, many artists who have struggled with an eating disorder are generating content that is promoted by the entertainment industry. When these conditions go unaddressed, the artist's content has the potential to influence its consumers. In one study, women who spent just 20 minutes on social media compared to women who spent time on other websites showed more concern for their overall weight and appearance compared to their peers. There are several online spaces on Twitter, TikTok, and Tumblr, just to name a few, where K-pop fans compare themselves to idols and use them as eating disorder inspiration because they want to be their size. These idols, according to their public stats, are all underweight. Underweight means that they weigh less than 80% of people who are their same age and height. People, probably young teenagers, are aspiring to be like this. These posts have hundreds of thousands of views and thousands of likes on them, which just goes to show how big the K-pop eating disorder community is. What are some things companies can do about this? First, they can require mental health screenings for K-pop idols to treat these conditions. They can also stop sharing pro-eating disorder content, including idols revealing how much they weigh, promoting dangerous diets or weight loss hacks, and sharing pictures of their small portions. Finally, the entertainment industry needs to fundamentally change and stop viewing skinniness as the ideal body. The ideal body should be able to withstand exercise, eat the recommended amount of calories per day, and not feel tired all the time. You should not be thinking about your weight constantly or trying to work off all the food that you eat. Even people who are really open to changing the K-pop industry, like Soyeon, she has talked a lot about wanting to maintain a very small weight for an adult woman.
몸무게 나오는 건가? 이걸 왜 가려요? 이걸 왜 가려요?
이제 비활동기랑 활동기 몸무게 좀 정해져 있거든요.
아, 그럼 지금은 활동기.
이제 비활동기 몸무게로 살고 있어요, 지금은.
Although she only weighed 99 pounds at 5'2", she expressed how this was her off weight, and she normally weighs even less during comebacks. These issues are bigger than those individual people. Even though you are for women empowerment, you would never tell someone else that they need to be this size. They still feel compelled to maintain that standard, not only because it was expected of them, because it's what they were taught to do, and because it's what everyone else does. I also wanted to add that fans play a large part in this as well. Looking at a group like IVE, we've had members Reine, Lizzo, and Liz be incredibly pressured by the public to lose weight. And once they did, people started to treat them differently. Even when companies let people debut who are not the average size of a K-pop idol, people still meet them with intense scrutiny. So it's not enough for the companies to change themselves. Everyone needs to change. In that interview with Reine, the licensed medical professional there never told them that their habits were dangerous. This shows that eating disorder culture is so intertwined with the K-pop idol job that even medical professionals don't feel compelled to comment on it. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hype it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!